The Dallas Stars are headed back to the Western Conference Finals, and you couldn't script it any better. Matt Duchene, the overtime hero in Colorado. Stars win Game 6 by a final score of 2-1. Let's celebrate next on Locked On Stars.
Your Locked On Stars, your daily podcast on the Dallas Stars. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, Stars fans, and welcome back to another episode of Locked On Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. It's a pleasure to be with you. I'm Joey Erickson, former producer of 105 Through the Fan. Please be sure to subscribe. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And as always, thank you so much for making us a part of your day and making us your first listen. Matt Duchene, the overtime winner. It could not have been sweeter. Wins it for Dallas in overtime by a final score of 2-1, and the Dallas Stars are headed back to the Western Conference Finals. Matt Duchene, baby, Dutchie in Colorado, could not have drew it up any better. The team he started his career with, he chooses Dallas in the offseason, and he scores the biggest goal of the postseason so far. And of course, it's even sweeter since he was called for goaltender interference in the first overtime period. Why? Who knows? I don't think the NHL even knows, even though they put out a statement trying to convince everyone else that it's goaltender interference. I think it's gaslighting, but enough of that. I'll try to stay away from it for as long as possible, but who cares? The Dallas Stars take down Colorado in 6 games, and they're moving on. I apologize if I blew anybody's eardrums out, but I am giddy after that victory for the Dallas Stars. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Wow, wow, wow. Incredible stuff from the Dallas Stars. And I want to give Pete DeBoer and the veteran leadership a lot of credit here tonight. Because if it was me, if it was 95% of Stars fans in the world, I would have lost my mind. I wouldn't have been able to mentally stay afloat and continue to grind out shift after shift in a do or die situation, even though you have Game 7 at home, possibly, but in an elimination game, and they kept at it. And that's why Pete DeBoer is a head coach. And I'm sitting here talking to you about this victory. Incredible stuff for them to just lock down, deal with the adversity, and they grind it out. What a play by Pavelski in front. He had a really rough night. But that's why you keep Joe Pavelski in the lineup, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you keep him in the lineup. I know he was a liability at times in the first 2 periods, but you keep him in the lineup for those moments. And credit to Matt Duchene, who looked phenomenal in the overtime periods. And he goes to the net, and that one will count. NHL. Incredible stuff. And I don't think I can overstate how important veteran leadership is. You know, they went into the locker room in between OTs 1 and 2 and said, hey guys, that completely sucks. That is a gut punch. Who cares? This is the hand we're dealt. We have to find a way to win. And credit to them. They stayed in it the entire game. They did not get off to a particularly great start by any stretch of the imagination. Colorado dominated in the first 2 periods, but like Dallas does, and like the best road team in the NHL does, they hang around. DeBoer switches up the lines in the 3rd period. Dallas starts getting into a rhythm. They start finding some zone time. They start testing Georgiev. They get the goal from Ben, and then they really played wonderful hockey in overtime. Did not give Colorado a ton. Jake Oettinger was splendid. He was splendid, folks. He was splendid when they needed him, and they needed him badly tonight when they were taking on water in the first 2 periods. Dallas ended up with 38 shots on goal. Otter had 29 saves. I mean, the overtime periods, the Stars had 15 shots in OT 1 and 2. They were peppering Georgiev. They were able to get Colorado on their heels multiple times, and I think they just wore them out. They just stayed on top of them. They wore them out, and they end up getting the overtime hero, Matt Duchene, who buries it, and he does the heartbreaker celebration. He breaks the heart of everybody in an Avalanche uniform. I mean, splendid stuff from the Dallas Stars. Wow. Okay. Well, I have to talk about it. And obviously, I'm not as bitter because the Stars won, but I have to talk about this goaltender interference nonsense. First, I want to read off the league explanation. So this is the official explanation from the Situation Room. Video review supported the referee's call on the ice that Dallas's Matt Duchene impaired Alex Georgiev's ability to play his position in the crease prior to the puck entering the Colorado net. I think it is very apparent, and we have to look at the details of this ruling, to play his position in the crease prior to the puck entering the Colorado net. And that decision is Rule 69.1, whatever. My question is, Matt Duchene was never in the blue paint, at least from the angles that we saw. Never in the blue paint. And if he was, the only reason he would have been in the blue paint, and even then I still don't think he was, is when Cale Makar nudged him into Georgiev. And I still don't think he was in the blue paint. Made no sense. It made no sense. Makes zero sense why that is goaltender interference. Dallas won the faceoff. They drew up a play coming out of the off of the ice maintenance timeout. Do it to perfection, and they score, and they make a stand there. And I understand the viewpoint of you don't want to end the series like that. I'm completely fine. I get it. Put it in the rule book. You should just put it in the rule book then. Okay, if it's overtime in game 5 or less, or game 5 or more in a playoff series, if it is somewhat goaltender interference, it's not going to count because we don't want to end the series that way. A series clinching goal can't end on even if there's a tiny bit of evidence of goaltender interference. Put it in the rule book. Put it in the rule book. And I know I'm being hyperbolic here, but it's a joke. It's a complete joke. And this isn't even this series of a problem. The Florida Tampa Bay, oh my goodness. You have the Boston goal as well. I don't understand. I don't understand how they review it and they come out with that conclusion. And I get it too. The call on the ice was no goal. They need to allow every goal to count in overtime. Every goal should count in overtime. You can always go back and review it, unless it's egregious. If it's egregious high stick or the goaltender gets bulldozed or whatever, every goal should count. But you're allowing a referee to make a call based off judgment really emphatically that obviously plays in to the ruling when you go to review it. And even when there's conclusive evidence, in my opinion, and I know I'm barking on the side of Dallas here, but I mean, I would like to think I could come to terms with it if that was a goal that the Avalanche scored. It would have sucked, but hey, like that's a good goal for a league that wants offense and wants goals. I don't understand how you take that off or not take it off the board, but confirm it. Like, it's okay. It's okay if the Stripes made the wrong call. Like, that's okay. And I'm glad I'm sitting here talking about this on the right side of the result, because I was really struggling sitting through the second overtime period, like, what am I going to talk about if Dallas loses? Like, what if Colorado happens to win the series? I'm going to be so bitter. I'm going to be unbearable. I really don't understand the call. But I get it at the same time. I understand they don't want the series to end that way, but that just shows me the league has too much of an ego. You have way too much of an ego then. If that's your criteria, it's because it's a series clinching goal. I think you have too much of an ego then. Too much of an ego. But yeah, Stars win. I'm sorry to dull the mood because I am pumped up. Stars take down the Avalanche in 6 games. They win game 6, 2-1 in overtime. And we're not going to speak of the egregious goaltender interference call the rest of the way. Okay. I'm sorry, but I had to get it off. I had to vent. I had to vent because of watching the game by myself. So this is therapy for me now. That was a therapy session for half of that segment. Let's move on. Great series, all in all, great series, and the Stars survive in advance. Let's look at the series as a whole in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is the authorized ticket marketplace of the NBA, which makes getting playoff tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to tip off. Killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guaranteed. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. Go ahead and take out your smartphone and download the Game Time app. Download it. It's free. It's on the Google Play Store. It's on the App Store. And you can go purchase tickets to Game 6 of the Mavericks game for tomorrow. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals for the Dallas Stars, which I think will be played on Tuesday or Thursday. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But get last-minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last-minute tickets for the NBA playoffs, for the Stanley Cup playoffs, for concerts, comedy, theater, you name it, they have it. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. So the Stars close out Colorado in 6 games, and they do it in really familiar fashion. In a way, they've done it all season long, especially on the road. They just get superb net minding from Jake Oettinger. They get just enough offense. They just grind it out, and they come away with a victory. Have to show some love to a lot of guys within this series. Miro Heiskanen was incredible. He led all skaters in ice time tonight. No surprise. He played over 38 minutes. Incredible stuff from him. Tanev, I mean, what more can you say about Chris Tanev? And here you go. Chris Tanev, round 1. This just shows you how effective he's been. 46 minutes against Eichel at 5-on-5. Stars are up 3-0. Chris Tanev against McKinnon. He played straight up over 68 minutes in this series at 5-on-5. Stars are up 3-1. Try to convince me someone else was a more important trade deadline deal than Chris Tanev for the Dallas Stars was. He was spectacular all series long. I mean, just an incredible performance on one of the best players in the world. And it was a team effort as well. It was certainly a team effort. It just wasn't Tanev. By the way, show some love to Petrovic, excuse me. He was great tonight. He was really good. That is a tough position. to be called up 2 days ago and thrown into a game 6 that has a ton of meaning on the road. And I thought he was fantastic. He earned himself a few games in the Western Conference Finals. I think he was superb. He makes a lot of sense. He's a veteran. He's big. He's 6'4", 215. He has 25 pounds on Lundqvist. And you could tell Pete DeBoer trusts him a lot more. And I'm here for it. I am here for it. He played over 16 minutes. And I know there was 2 overtime periods, but I mean, if Niels is in the game, I don't know if he hits 10. Seriously. I don't know if he hits 10. And Petrovic was great. He was great. So big credit to him stepping in and doing a fantastic job. I thought Mason Marchment played his best game of the postseason. I mean, wonderful stuff. He earned an overtime winner. Unfortunately, he got taken off, but man, he was running around and just being physical, doing what he does best on the forecheck. Dallas got better as the game wore along. They just got better. The first 2 periods feel like, 8 months ago now at this point, with it being 1:30 in the morning, but really stellar performances from a lot of, the fourth line was really good, was really good. And they went straight up against McKinnon and company a few times. And Colorado did not get the chances in really the final 60 minutes of this game than they did in the first 40. I think that's what it truly comes down to. Dallas really tightened things up. They were fantastic in front of Oettinger. They were boxing out. They were getting man on man, stick on stick. And I think, too, McKinnon was gassed. You didn't see a lot of McKinnon and Makar, that juice in the overtime frames, because they just played a ton. They played, I think, almost 12 minutes in the first period. Let's see. Tays finished with 36 minutes. So did Makar. McKinnon played 35. I mean, he played a ton. I don't think he had a ton of gas. And the highest forward with in regards to time on ice for Dallas was 27 minutes, and that was Robertson. So McKinnon played over 8 more minutes than the Dallas is leading for, and that's where depth comes into play. That's where depth and able bodies can win you games this time of year, because Dallas just rolled 4 lines. They rolled them out there, continued to wear down Colorado, continued to wear down their big stars, where they just didn't have enough. And they were great tonight. They were great. But it's really hard to do that for 5 periods. And Dallas was the better team in both OTs, and they get rewarded for it. Should have got rewarded a lot earlier, and this video should be posted by now. But here we are. Great stuff. Fun series, all told. Tip your cap to Colorado. They battled their asses off. They worked their bag off to at least get it to 6 games. And they were without a few bodies. Of course, Nichushkin was a big blow. And they gave Dallas a run for their money. They certainly did. But man, what a satisfying victory that was. What a satisfying victory. Hey, I'll give the NHL credit here. I enjoyed that goal a lot better than maybe the Marchment with it being waved off. But I'll concede some ground there. That was very, very exciting. But Dallas reached the round before the Stanley Cup final in consecutive years for the 3rd time in franchise history. A little note for you. Just, wow, fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff all told. Mason Marchment, here's a little quote from him coming from Leah of the Dallas Morning News. She's great stuff. By the way, give her a follow. Ass was over the line. Matt Duchene's ass was over the line. So there you go. What a picture this is of Matt Duchene. Go follow Locked On Stars on Twitter. By the way, follow Joey the Jet 19. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Comment, please. Let me know. Celebratory drinks here on Locked On Stars. How you're feeling? Let me know how you felt after the initial goal was was taken off the board. The best team on the road in the National Hockey League. Stars won all 3 road games. All 3 road games in this series. That's impressive stuff against the best home team in the National Hockey League. Colorado was 31-9-1 throughout the regular season, and Dallas went in there and won all 3 games. All 3 games. That is hard to do and very, very impressive stuff. I could go up and down. The wonderful performances. I mean, Dadonov, what a key he turned out to be in this series, especially. What a pass to Ben. I mean, what a feat from Dadonov. Who would have thought we had to reunite Ben, Sagan, and a Russian to get some offense going in Game 6? And credit to Dallas, man. Credit to Dallas. They get the job done. Oh, I would have been unbearable if Dallas lost this game. I would have been unbearable. But fortunately, we're celebrating the Dallas Stars heading to the Western Conference Finals for the 2nd straight season. We will await their opponent. Let's look down the line here in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for with eBay Motors. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. I do want to say this, and I should have got to this earlier in the episode, but this is why the Dallas Stars got Matt Duchene. That's why they went out to get him. And maybe it's the other way around where Matt Duchene chose to come to Dallas. Either way, he came to Dallas for these moments. Those moments in a postseason where you need a goal, you need someone to step up, and he did an excellent job. He did a phenomenal job. He's got a lot of flack over his career, not the best playoff performer. Arguably, he's been in places where he's had to be the guy. Nashville, Ottawa, Columbus, and just really never maybe lived up to that expectation. It's different now when you have the Johnstons of the world and the Robertsons that can pick up some of that slack, but he was the guy. He was the guy tonight, especially in OT. He was all over the place. Probably played his best game of the postseason. And maybe this is recency bias, and of course he scores the big-time goal to clinch, but really, really well done from Matt Duchene. And now the Stars await their opponent here in the Western Conference Final, the Edmonton Oilers, or Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver with a 3-2 series lead. They play Game 6 here later tonight, as it's Saturday morning now. And can Vancouver close it out in 6? Or are they going to play Game 7, which is on Monday night? Still no schedule on when Game 1 is going to be. I think it's either Tuesday or Thursday. Could depend on if Vancouver or Edmonton goes 7 games, of course. Both are very interesting, and they seem really similar, where, of course, they got some great players, but their goaltending is kind of garbage on both sides. And Sheloff's have been really good. Maybe he hasn't even really been garbage. Maybe it's more of an Edmonton thing where they haven't gotten very great goaltending. Who would have thought? seems to be a theme with the Oilers. I really don't have a preference on who the Stars play. I think Dallas is going to be favored more than likely. Probably going to be the better team. Probably going to be deeper. Really, really intrigued though. I'm really intrigued. I couldn't tell you who you want the Stars to play. Maybe Edmonton, just because they don't know what they're going to get out of their netminders, and you have to deal with special teams galore. If you thought Colorado was good, by the way, first game 6 where the special teams battle went the other way. Really soft call on Duchene, by the way. Didn't even get into that. Soft cross-checking. Like, that's the call you want to make? I'm so bitter over the Stripes. And I swear, I'm not like this. But they did it to me tonight, Stars fans. So allow me to vent. Yeah, can't really say. I would like Edmonton in a lot of ways just because, yeah, take down McDavid, man. Take down Nichol's darling. I don't know if one's necessarily easier than the other. Maybe Edmonton's a bit heavier, a bit more physical, so Dallas may have the edge on Vancouver in that way. Experience, certainly, against the Canucks. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. Who would you want to play in the Western Conference Final? I really don't have a preference at this point. I don't care. Anybody, bring them on. I think the Stars are better. Plain and simple. I think the Dallas Stars are better. It's funny that the first video I ever posted as host of Locked On Stars, I said they're the team to beat. Back in September or August, whenever this was, I said they're the team to beat. And they look like it. They look like it. And 8 more wins. They still need 8 more wins. Okay. I'm not crowning them quite yet. I'm not crowning them quite wet. They still need 8 more wins. These first 8 have been a grind though. That is for sure. Matt Duchene scored his 3rd game winner in a contest that required multiple overtimes. The only other player in NHL history to record as many is Peter Sikora, which was Game 5 of 2008, Game 1 of 2003, and Game 1 of 2003 as well. So how about that? Duchene does have some clutch in him, and what a goal. What a picture, by the way. Go ahead and find it on all your social media. What a picture of the jubilation of Matt Duchene. Wow. Matt Duchene on TNT, I'll read this for you. Do I want to win a cup for myself? Absolutely. But I think I want to win it more for other guys in that room. Guys like Jamie Benn and Joe Pavelski and Ryan Suter and Pete. Just so many guys that deserve to win because they're just such great people. I'll bring a tear to your eyes, folks. I'll bring a tear to your eyes, Matt. That'll bring a tear to, like, I think that just perfectly exemplifies what this Stars team is all about. Sacrifice, selfishness for the greater of the entire club. And I think that's a great thing. It's a great thing. What a game 6. What a win for the Dallas Stars. What a fight by Colorado. Great stuff. Really tip of the cap to the Avalanche. They could have laid down in Game 5 on the road, and they pushed it. They pushed it back to their building, and Dallas got the job done. They got the job done. Stars win it in 6 games, 2-1 victory in overtime to send themselves to the Western Conference Finals for the 2nd straight season, where they await their opponents, which will either be the Edmonton Oilers or the Vancouver Canucks. By the way, just want to show quick love to Zach Parise. What a career he's put together, and all those years in Minnesota along with Suter. He was great in these last 2 games. He was a big factor to them winning Game 5. What a human being too. I went to school in Minnesota when he was at the tail end of his time there, I think the last season. And really incredible human being. Really incredible human. All the wonderful work he did in Minnesota for that state will not go unnoticed. I just want to throw that out there. Really, really great human being. And I know he's loved there too, and he was there forever. And he's kind of bumped around here over the last few years, and he wasn't even playing at the beginning of the year, and Colorado picked him up, and he was great. He was great. So good luck to him in whatever endeavor he decides to choose here in retirement, or maybe he's not ready to quite hang him up just yet. You never know. But wonderful stuff. I mean, Otter, once again, look, guys, he's damn good. He's a franchise netminder, and you may not want to believe it, and you may want to turn on him every time he gives up a soft goal, and I understand. He's so good. He's so good in the moments that matter. So I think we're out on the overreactions on Jake Oettinger. And I know I've given him my fair share of criticism, but I feel like over the last month, I've been very, very fair, and I've pumped his tires a lot, but I think it's justified. I've said it a lot. I think Jake Oettinger can take this team to the promised land one day. Maybe it's not this year, but I truly believe it. And performances like that are why. He's so good. And he makes big stops more often than you want to believe sometimes. Yeah, that's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. But Matt Duchene, what a victory. I could ramble on for another hour. We could get into the goaltender interference thing again. But that'll do it. That'll do it for tonight's episode of Locked on Stars. We're moving on. The podcast continues. We'll be back on Monday, Stars fans. We'll be back on Monday. We got a couple of days to just take this one in, and we'll be ready to go on Monday night. Have a great weekend, Dallas Stars fans. Have a great weekend. Thank you as always. Thank you as always for joining me on Locked on Stars. It's very, very much appreciated. The support is truly amazing. Truly amazing. It's phenomenal. Would love for the Mavs to win too. That'd be awesome. Both teams in DFW that play in the same arena to their conference final. That'd be something. Try that, Dallas Cowboys. Okay, sorry, I couldn't leave without giving them a shot. Okay, they've broken my heart way too many times. Okay, have a great rest of your weekend. We will see you on Monday, Stars fans. So long, everybody.